the Sacramento Kings today at the United Center. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, preview the game, and talk about the effects that Zach LaVine, now missing the rest of the season, is going to have on the Bulls season. We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content. So let's go ahead and get the elephant out the room, because I know people are going to be asking, despite me having an emergency episode out. Yes, Zach LaVine is out for the rest of the season. That's it. He's out for the rest of the season. He's not going to come back. What does that mean for his trade value? What does it mean for all that? We'll find out in the long term of it, but it does make it highly unlikely that the Bulls move him even in the offseason. He's just done. It is what it is. He's going to be done. He's not coming back. And that just kind of is what it is when it comes down to it. It sucks, right? And it's just the latest in the story of Zach LaVine, which has just been a weird season for Zach LaVine. Starting off the season, shooting the worst true shooting percentage of his career, basically since his second year in the league. And then on top of that, he goes down with the initial injury. He has the trade request, comes back, looks okay in that, comes back, and then it sucks. It sucks. So that's just the narrative, and that's the story of when it comes to Zach LaVine. And that's just what it's going to be. The Bulls are going to have to figure it out. This does probably make it more likely that Zach LaVine is going to be a Bull for the foreseeable future. Now maybe you may get a team, depending on what the diagnosis looks like over the offseason, that may be interested in trading for Zach, but I think that's slim to none. And then maybe by next year's trade deadline, if he comes back and looks really good, maybe. But more than likely, the biggest scenario of this is that Zach LaVine is going to be a Bull for the foreseeable future. And you can take that for what you will with it, right? I know that it came out after I did release the breaking news video that Zach LaVine did decide on getting surgery. And could that have been to stop the Detroit Pistons trade or something like that? Possibly. But like I've said before, and I said this in the comments to a couple of people as well, Zach LaVine now getting surgery on top of during a time that one of the biggest knocks on him was his health already. That just further solidified he's going to be a Chicago Bull for a while. So we'll end up seeing what that's going to be, man. It is what it is. Anthony says, let's see how the Bulls play tonight. Can't believe Zach is out for the rest of the season. Let's see if If Craig is playing tonight, see red. Yeah, I don't know if they've announced anything yet on that, but we'll keep monitoring that. Oh, wow. Just saw that to Anthony Clutch Sports, and Zach elected to have season-ending right foot surgery. I can't think this will help his value, and he won't. This will not help Zach LaVine's value at all, not even a little bit. It does nothing but hurt it. The article made, yes, so Zach LaVine did decide to have surgery. And so, but with that comes the repercussions that you're probably not going to be traded for anytime soon. Shay, I don't know what's getting more frustrated in the fact that the Chicago Bulls are just suffering with injuries, or the fact that Cody Rhodes can't finish his story due to The Rock's punk ass. Is funny. Listen, I don't care about wrestling right now. Zach didn't want to go to Detroit. Yeah, but now with getting surgery, he's not going to go anywhere. So, I mean, for touche on that, I guess, but it's not going to go anywhere. So the players just need to push the news out of their head and focus on tonight's game. The Kings are not a team to play with. Well, yeah, I don't think that the Bulls, shout out to Quentin, by the way, from Let's Talk Bulls. You're on your personal account today. I almost didn't realize who it was if it wasn't for you looking extremely light-skinned in the photo. The light-skinned Supreme is here on his personal account. Look at how this dude did. He feels he is so light-skinned and favored that he's in here with his personal account. That's crazy. No, shout out to Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls. Bulls for Life says, I can't see Zach being traded now that he's done for the rest of the season. Dude seen the Pistons deal and said season-ending surgery. Absolutely. But like I said, that with that comes that he's going to be here for quite a while. So you got to deal with that. Trade DeMar. I mean, we'll see. New dribbler. I mean, listen. I do a little something from time to time. That's it. That's all I can say. I do a little something from time to time. Samir, I was legit joking with my friends yesterday saying I don't think there's any way Zach could make his trade value any worse. Well, hey, he saw that and he said, hold my beer, Samir, hold my beer. So sucks, man. Sucks. Zach said, y'all ain't trading me for Detroit. That's funny. I mean, not going anywhere might be better than living in Detroit. I mean, listen, anything's better than living in Detroit. Like, let's just be clear here. Detroit is a third world country within the United States. It's bad. So, yeah, it kind of is what it is there. That's tough. That's tough. Oh, man. Sucks when it comes down to it, right? Like, where we are right now as a franchise, where the season is gone, has been wild. That's all I can say with that. It's been absolutely wild. I don't see anything about Torrey Craig coming back yet, at least not officially released by the Bulls. So that may mean he's not playing today. I'm starting to think Zach is also a secret Packers agent. No, he's not a Packers agent. Let's be clear with that. Do we know for the what his exact injury is? I'm skeptical. Yes, we do. I can't remember. I can look it up, but they did announce exactly what the injury is. So, Haize, be honest. You think Zach did this to because he wanted to avoid getting traded to Detroit? I mean, here's the thing. There could have been easier ways to get that done. All he had to do was go to the Bulls and say, you know what? I actually don't want to be traded. I want to rock this out. Because the Bulls front office isn't going. If Zach LaVine came to them and said, you know what? Tensions were high at the start of the season. I was upset that we were losing. I'm fine being here, being a Chicago Bull for life. Or not for life, but at least for the foreseeable future. Cool. That would have ended it. To get surgery when one of the biggest, I'm sorry, I'm just a realist. So to get surgery while one of the biggest critiques on you is your ability to stay healthy would be idiotic as hell. So if Zach LaVine did get the surgery to just avoid being traded to Detroit, he's stupid. I'm just going to be frank with you. He's an idiot. Like, because you're not going to leave out of Chicago with that. It's not going to happen. I'm so fucking sick of the Bulls acting like cheap small market team that struggles to put a competitive team on the court. We deserve better. Acme and Reinsdorf have got to go. Well, Reinsdorf is never going to go. And like I told you guys before, if the Reinsdorfs ever were to sell the Chicago Bulls, be prepared for the Bulls to leave Chicago. That's all I can say on that one. All signs are pointing to a rebuild. No signs are pointing to a rebuild because they've already said they're not going to rebuild. I don't know where, like, at some point, I just got to wonder if you guys just choose to not live in reality and choose to live in some pocket dimension that is created by your own mind, because nothing is pointing to a rebuild. There is zero that's pointing to a rebuild. Zero. An inability to trade the highest paid player in your franchise's history, that does not point to a rebuild. In what world do you think this points to a rebuild? I just would love to know, other than any already preconceived notions that the Bulls need to rebuild. I don't understand it. Detroit looked like a real life fallout game. Listen, Detroit looks like, that's crazy. Casey Johnson said Craig and Kobe will play today. Well, good. Why was the doubts around Kobe's playing today? It is what it is about Zach LaVine, but King played last night and we had a last 2 days off. It may not mean anything because it's Chicago, but we can take advantage of it. But it up to how we come out. I mean, listen, I don't trust that it matters with the Chicago Bulls that the other team was on the second of a back-to-back. I can't even take that as meaning until the Bulls show me that it means something. And they haven't showed that shit consistently in a minute. So, I would love to be able to say that, but I just don't think we can right now where the Chicago Bulls are. So it looks petty on Zach's behalf. He could have did this after the deadline, but he chose to do it as the Pistons rumors were heating up. Again, this hurts Zach more than it helps. Other than just to avoid going to Detroit, but if your key was to get out of Chicago, there's no team that's going to trade for Zach LaVine probably for another year. And that's pushing, like I said, at the earliest, maybe next trade deadline, unless the team's just desperate for it. I don't feel too confident about tonight just because of the injuries we have. Hawks won last night. If the Bulls don't keep it up, they could miss the play-in. What do you think? No, the Bulls aren't going to miss the play-in. So, no, I don't think that because of the pace that we've been playing, even with the injuries. Keep in mind, the Bulls have won 60% of their games since the start of December. So, and they're only one of like 3 or 4 teams to do so. unless the Bulls really start taking a nosedive, I don't foresee personally the Chicago Bulls falling out of the playing area. I just don't see. Now they may fall to the 10th seed, but I don't see that. They still hold a 1.5 game over the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks have won 3 in a row, so shout out to them there, but it's still the Atlanta Hawks. We do know that they are shopping half their roster, so that could drastically change after the trade deadline. I just don't think that the Bulls are. Now, that could be false confidence on my side, but we'll end up seeing what happens with that one. I hope the Bulls have a Bears type situation where management gets new faces and turns us around. This management just came here. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So you can keep hoping and praying. Do your little witch doctor dance. Get a voodoo doll. That's probably what it's going to take. You're going to have to find the heart of Damballa. Shout out if you know that reference. You're going to have to find the heart of Damballa to try to get the Bulls to move off this front office anytime soon. And anything barring that, it's not going to happen. So it is what it is. Will Acme become sellers at the deadline? My guess is hell no. No. So that's a safe bet. Drummond needs more minutes. Vooch looks tired. Vooch just came back from injury. Vooch, you know what it is, though? Actually, Jake Henry, I'm not going to disagree with you, but Vooch always looks tired. Vooch literally looks tired 5 minutes into the game. That's it. He just always looks tired. So I believe Io is going to start averaging 13 points per game for the rest of the year. Well, hey, I mean, shout out to him if he's able to do so, brother. Bulls out should trade Zach for my old lunch ladies in middle school. You had a thing for your old lunch ladies, Delbert? That's just weird, bro. You had a thing for the lunch ladies. Like the lunch ladies usually had wrists that looked like cankles. So like, you mean to tell me you had a thing for your lunch ladies? That's weird, bro. Delbert, that's really strange. You said some really strange stuff in here, but the fact that you are publicly admitting to having a crush on the lunch ladies from your high school, that's a little bit weird, bro. That's a little bit weird. This is a tad bit strange there. Tad bit, just a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about you. I mean, listen, I don't kink shame. Maybe lunch ladies is your fetish. That's cool. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Don't worry, Haize. I'm going to hire a Haitian to put a curse on management. That is hilarious. The Bulls have to trade everyone. No, they don't. And they're not going to. So get over it. He said it. It's the hair nets that do it for him. Hey, man, listen. If that's what do it for him, that's what do it for him. That's wild. But hey, that's crazy. Quinn says, I can tell you now, if the Bulls come out slow, it's about to be a blowout. Yeah, probably. I could definitely foresee that happening. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Had a parent real quick. My bad. Had to get in the kid's ass real quick. Vooch moves like someone pop. I don't care if he's old. If you're too old to not run like someone chasing their toddler on the loose, that's funny. That's hilarious. Lunch lady had 4 cankles and a mustache and looked like the Wicked Witch of the East. That's crazy. Zach's plan was to be traded to California. He'd do anything to not go to Detroit. Early surgery, no doubt. That's funny. He said, what the fuck you doing? I absolutely did say that. That's absolutely what I don't mind you guys reading my lips. I don't mind it. That is what it is. I just don't want it to be said on the show. See, that's a different thing. So, it is what it is. I had to put the belt to ass real quick, Papa. Look, my 10-year-old, I don't know what he's doing up there. It sounds like he's up there wrestling people. Like, that's what it sounds like. It just sounds like he just gave somebody the goddamn RKO. You know how we rocking? Let's go Bulls, beat the Latin Kings. The Latin Kings? What are we doing? Yo, did you see Javon's drip tonight? No, I don't give a fuck about Javon's drip. Javon Carter needs to hit can you drip a bucket? That's what you need to do. I don't give a fuck about your drip. I really don't give a flying fuck. I don't care. Can you come out there and can you hit some goddamn shots? Can you do that? Can you play defense? Can you make a forward pass? Those are the things I care about when it comes to Javon Carter. It's cool. I'm glad that you're dressing well, but you're playing like absolute shit on the court. I don't give a fuck right now how you dress. I don't care. Get your shit together. What's up, Haize? Unfortunate news about Levine, but do you think we should explore dealing DeMar as the deadline is fast approaching? Why do you write shit like you're talking to the goddamn media? Like, nigga, what? This is a bar. Chill out. You ain't got to write it so formally, Vern. It's a little shot to Vern. Listen, when it comes down to it, they should have been shopping DeMar anyway. So, but like I said before, they're playing the chances that a team would need a signing trade in the offseason anyway. So, which player on our team should benefit from Levine's minutes most? Ayo Dosunmu. So, what are the reports about the Bulls being favored to trade ban? People bored as shit. That's what it is. People bored as shit. So, yeah, that's what it comes down to. Do you foresee the Bulls picking someone up at the buyout market? I do see now the buyout market. I do definitely think they'll pick up somebody at the buyout market. Javon can't really hit no layups that drip outside the court. Don't mean shit. Exactly. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. What the F you doing? Sit down, black parent and shit. Something like that. Something like that. Let's go Bulls. Beat the Kings. Sweet outfit. Hey, listen, come on now. Y'all already know that I'm the best in the business to do this. Y'all already know this is what I do. The drip is me. I am the drip. Like, first of all, Chi-Town. Listen, first of all, you see that? Chi-Town Bulls, right? You see that? Then we got the Bulls patch on this side. We got the Chicago patch on this side. Then check out the details in the hat. You see that? You see that? Come on. Come on, man. Ain't nobody doing it like me. Ain't nobody doing it like me. That's just period. Ain't nobody doing it like me. If somebody tells you they drip matching mine, you smack them because they lying to you. They just flat out lying to you. This is actually a great question. Do the Bulls get another medical exemption for Zach? Yes, they can get another disabled player exception for Zach LaVine because he is slated to miss the rest of the season, which this could be huge. So if I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the CBA in the back of my mind, but a disabled player exception allows you to get half of the value of the player's contract you're getting a disabled player exception for. So Zach LaVine's contract being $40 million would mean that they can potentially get a disabled player exception back for $20 million. So hold on, I'm going to look it up real quick and see what the rules are for it. We're going to read it exactly. All right, bet. A disabled player exception can be applied when the player has an injury determined to be season ending. It gives the team above the salary cap an exception to sign a replacement player, essentially giving the team an additional spending flexibility. If accepted, the DPE would be worth half of the player's annual salary. So yeah, theoretically, the Chicago Bulls should be getting, if they file for it, a $20 million disabled player exception, which I believe that you can use that for 2023-24 up to the season's progress. Teams have until January 15th. No, we can't. Sorry. So you have until January 15th to apply for the disabled player exception. So Zach LaVine screwed us yet again. So because it was not filed by December 15th, that's it. We can't file for it. So there you guys go. He would literally have to be determined to be out for next season before us to do that. So not gonna happen. Disabled player exception is not gonna happen. So yeah, unfortunately, disabled player exception is not gonna happen when it comes down to that. Do you know how much cap space we have this offseason? If I'm not mistaken, we can have, if we don't re-sign anybody, it's like 40 million. And if we do re-sign with the cap holds, I think we can have like $20 million underneath the luxury tax. Now that's not true cap space, but that will allow the Bulls to use their full mid-level exception, for example. But let me verify that. Let me pull those numbers up for you guys as well. So the Chicago Bulls Boom, 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 boom. So the Chicago Bulls can have a possible $38.2 million in cap space. Their projected cap space is going to be $16.3 million, and they will have up to, under the second tax apron, and they will be roughly about $34 million. I'm sorry, about $17 million underneath the luxury tax. So that gives the Bulls a couple of different things that they can do and operate on. So there you guys go there. Zach is slowly becoming the Bulls version of Ben Simmons. For real, dude goes down, comes back, plays, goes down again. I'm sorry, no, he's not. Because listen, at Ben Simmons' worst, he wasn't even able to play. When he was on the court, he might as well have not been on the court. So I don't think that's ever been that bad as Ben Simmons. As bad as it is, I don't ever think that it's been that bad. Bro, Zach, fuck you. You making us light skins look bad. Kelly Oubre pretty ass tougher than you. First of all, the fact that you think Kelly Oubre is pretty is wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Lonzo going to be on air tonight with Adam and Stacey. Yeah, what they say at the start of the second quarter, I believe. Second quarter or second half. Sucks to hear this about Zach. Hopefully he can just come back, play hard, and land himself on the team he wants to play for, not the Pistons. Listen, I don't give a fuck what team he plays on. Don't care. Don't care what team he plays for. Listen, the Bulls owe themselves to get the best that they can out of a Zach LaVine trade. They don't owe Zach LaVine shit. So that's how I feel on it. Not to be cold for Zach LaVine or inhuman, but where the Bulls are right now as a franchise, we are not the point of a franchise we can do anybody any favors. It'd be different if Zach LaVine won this damn team at Eastern Conference Finals or something like that. Hell, a playoff series. But we don't. I'm sorry. I love Zach. I would love for Zach to come back and work out here in Chicago, but he has not done enough. He's not done enough. So, but that's my personal opinion. You guys can tell me how you feel about it. Any word on extensions for Caruso or Jum? Also, what would you offer? No word yet. They're probably not going to talk. Well, first, Caruso can't talk extension until the earliest this offseason. So there's not going to be any word on that. Drum, no word either. If I had to guess, Drum, probably he signed Russ for $3.3 million. If we do re-sign Andre Drummond, I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of double that. So $7 to $8 million probably is the most I can see for Drum. But even then, the Bulls may look at that and say, hey, we got this young guy in Adama Sanogo. We're gonna give a whirl. So yes, I know we don't care, but he does. He's the only one that could change that. The better he plays, the better teams want him. I don't care either, but for his sake, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you. It's the best for him to come back and play well. Your rant on Carter's drip is my exact reaction when my friends take more than 5 seconds to pick jerseys when we team up on 2K. That's crazy. That's crazy. Don't get me wrong, Zach like a nice little J.R. Smith type player, but even though that's Zach LaVine is a better player than J.R. Smith. He just is. He's a better player than J.R. Smith. If J.R. Smith was forced to be a number one on the team for so long, he would have looked terrible. Terrible. The other thing about it is that we overlooking Kobe, and now he's on the injury list. I mean, listen, he's going to play tonight. So, I mean, Kobe's been banged up a little bit too. Everybody, at this point of the season, anybody can wind up on the injury list for anything. It just is what it is. Sydney says, I think we should re-sign Drummond. Oh, I agree. I love Drummond. Drummond seems to love Chicago. I wouldn't mind if Drummond finishes out the rest of the season, his career here. I wouldn't mind that at all. But, you see what happens to it. Haize, what's up? With the news on Zach, does this influence any extension the market have gotten with this team? I don't think so. The team has been far apart on years and money, so I don't think that it really informs that too much. Looks like we're going to be tied to Zach till this marriage isn't over yet. Yeah, oh yeah. Zach's gonna be here for a while. Zach is gonna be here for a while. I like Drum. He played with effort and heart. Oh, yeah, it's hard not to love the effort that Drum plays with. Do you think Sanogo will get any time as a backup center if Drummond doesn't? Oh, for sure. I have no doubts that with the way that Sanogo is playing in the G League, that if Drummond were to walk, because the Bulls may want to focus on other positions, that they'll give Sanogo a try to win that backup center position. Is Torrey Craig's second year a player or team option? I believe it is a player option, but let me check on that one for you. I like to make sure I have the facts before I give you guys anything wrong. It is a player option, so he does have a player option for this offseason. What's good, fam? Hope all is well. Right now, I'd like to have Carter traded. He's a waste of space. We have better chance getting someone from the G League. Well, the thing is that because he does suck, nobody's going to trade for him. Like, I don't think anybody would even absorb them in the cap space if Ronald McDonald said, "I will cover the rest of this for you." What up, Bobby?
What up? What up?
Hey, bro, long time. We haven't talked all week for real, Bobby. What's good, bro?
Man, look, it's been hectic, but look, bro.
I'm tired of shit, bro.
All of the above.
Hey, man. I'm glad you joined, man. How do you feel about the Zach LaVine news, bro?
So on Shy Bulls podcast, I broke it down like this. On the business side, this is what the Bulls get for digging in their ass. Now you can't move a guy that wanted to be out because you played around so much and you continuously play around, play in our face, and say that you're making calls or taking calls and doing all this, and you ain't did nothing. Let's just keep it a buck. But then on the personal side, or at least the basketball side, you feel bad for Zach LaVine in this aspect is that, hey, he wanted to trade. He wanted to get out of here. And what's being reported by Shams is that this is his decision.
Yeah.
Haize, this is his decision.
Yeah.
He consulted with Rich Paul and they pretty much said, yeah, let's go ahead and have this season ending surgery. So look, we know sports is kind of like the soap opera. You put it out there plenty of times. Is this Zach LaVine saying, fuck the Detroit Pistons? I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. It's
but like I said, I've been saying this in this stream for a long time. Like, I get it. And I'm not saying that I doubt that. But if that's the case, if he was like, hey, I don't want to go to the Pistons, I'm going to go ahead and get surgery, it's still stupid because now you've hurt your trade value. Now, nobody's going to take a shot on you anytime soon. You've done nothing but guarantee for at least another full season you're going to be a Chicago Bull, because I don't see unless Zach LaVine proves he can stay healthy and contribute to winning for a full year, I just don't see teams trying to take a big shot on that contract with now all of this injury concern around.
I'm with you on that because we already know we've seen multiple reports pretty much saying that his trade value is low. You know, there's a lot of reasons why. And now, like you having a season-ending surgery, bro, before anybody even trades for you, because there was, speculation that they can, wait and have more time during the offseason. No one's going to want to trade for you until they see you play an extended period of time. Like, no one's going to trade for you and not know if they can, get something out of you. And it just speaks to what the Bulls got to deal with. Now you got two guys that's pretty much chilling. Lonzo Ball ain't played in about 2 years. And now Zach LaVine about to go chill for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you're going to have to sit down, and he's going to be here for a minute. That's all we can say on that one, bro. It's going to be.
I mean, we just got to take it for what it is, though. It's just, I don't know, bro. The front office, look, I don't think they stupid. I just question a lot of the things that they try to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they overvalue a lot of the players on the team. And it could be some of what it could be Jerry's doing as well. He's like, hey, man, these guys are competing. Our fans are still buying Bulls merch. We still look fly in Bulls merch. To hell with them. So,
the way that I look at it, man, when it comes down to it, like this front office, one of the biggest indictments on them, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone, is their inability to read the room. That's the thing. Yeah. They don't read the room well. You got offered last year at the trade deadline 3 first-round picks from the New York Knicks. 3 of them. Now, one of them was protected, but 3 of them. And so I get it at that point in time. Maybe you're still looking like you don't want to move Zach, things like that. But it's like reading the room. You gave Billy Donovan a contract extension. He has a career winning percentage with the Chicago Bulls of 47%. and you rewarded him with the contract extension that we still don't know how long is. They don't read the room well, bro. And that's, I think, the biggest problem with them on this.
And I agree with you on that, because it's like, I'm pretty sure that they offered the 3 first-round picks for Zach, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they received calls to get more draft picks for Alex Caruso. And we can probably argue right now, Alex Caruso value is probably at an all-time high, because they like, damn, this is the ultimate basketball player. He could pretty much fit in any system or any organization. He's going to be able to provide you with something. And now he's adding on pretty much his career high in three-point shooting.
Yeah.
To give you added, you know what I'm saying, things to where you can look at. And I know Steve-O said it plenty of times. There's been a lot of people that said, hey, they would have traded DeMar DeRozan when he, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things the way you could have went with this front office. And right now it's just like, man, do we do anything? And I seen a question that you had earlier. Do we get somebody in the buyout market? You absolutely right. We get somebody in the buyout market. That's what we did the last 2 seasons. Tristan Thompson and Pat Bev, buyout market. So we can expect one player to be signed by the Chicago Bulls in the buyout market, whoever that may be.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that they left one roster space open for a reason. That's, again, typical of what this front office does. And keep in mind, I will say this, though, because last year with like a Russell Westbrook, they weren't able to offer as much money as some other teams. We still got half a mid-level exception. We still got a disabled player exception. We could potentially offer a buyout player more than what any other team could in the market. I believe we have the largest disabled player exception in the league right now. So there's that potential if they want to do that. Again, that would mean that they would push them into the luxury tax, but there is that potential for it. So
it is that potential. And I know that's a name that has came out, that guy that might be bought out when DeMar.
Hold on real quick. Hold on.
May not be Larry.
Because first of all, see, this is what's problem when you come from a franchise that has never won. Like, I get it that now you have a great team, but humble yourself, boy. You guys had 35 years of sucking. You had fucking Chris Webber on your team and went and got called the Sacramento Queens and ended up bitching out. So I get it. For teams that really have never had success, when you have it, it makes you feel really bold and boastful. But bro, you here in the Chicago Bulls chat because guess what? There are like 10 real Kings fans in the world. That's it. The Chicago Bulls are worldwide. I can go to any city in any country in America and find Bulls fans to kick it with. Nobody gives a shit about the Sacramento Kings except the 15 fans that they have.
It's all facts, because we definitely not the equivalent.
What you saying, brother?
We are not the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
Not
if anybody, they're the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Every year you guys build yourself up and have failed every year since. That whole 90s run, you guys were the NBA Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be our year. We just got to get past the Lakers, and failed every single year.
Because any content creator for the Chicago Bulls, I never heard them say we winning the championship this year. Or
except C-Ray Fred. Every year C-Ray Fred says it. And C-Ray Fred every year comes up with a way we can win it.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. We got to keep it a buck about it all. That's what we do. That's why we love y'all, for sure. For real.
Well, finish your point, brother.
I was just going to say, man, it's just that, like, I know DeMar DeRozan, he's been, vouching for Kyle Lowry and things like that. But me personally, I got a question to ask you. Do you now feel like the Bulls are backed into a corner now? In what sense? In this sense, like, yeah, because we heard the talk between the Bulls and the Pistons, and it was kind of picking up steam, and it was kind of like, getting the groundwork mapped out for everybody. So now Zach LaVine is pretty much, I believe, is untradeable, at least right now, until maybe the offseason or beyond that. Do you think the Bulls are backed into that corner to where they have to now really, really have conversations about trading DeMar DeRozan?
I mean, I think those conversations should have happened already. And I said this before on the show, is that I think the Bulls look at this DeMar situation, because any team that theoretically is going to sign DeMar and really want to add him is probably going to be a championship level team, maybe a team that strikes out in the conference finals. Those teams are usually over the salary cap. So they may need a sign and trade to be able to sign him. So maybe the Bulls will look at it and saying, hey, we can find a deal by this deadline. Cool. If he ends up walking away, we have a really good chance of being able to get a sign and trade done. And they may just be playing the odds on that. So
That's fair. Because I think that me honestly, you gotta look at everything you got. Really. That's Alex Caruso, DeMar, and Nikola Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic has been ass this season. That's just
shit,
me.
absolute cheeks. No, he's been
Like
worse than ass, bro. He's been worse than ass. Like, like take the dumpster juice, take that, boil it, throw in a couple of turds, a couple of dead roadkill. That's been Vuce has sucked this season, bro.
bro, it's like, and it's not even like it's a huge disappointed
Yeah,
a huge disappointment for me because this was the first guy during the offseason was like, yeah, this could be our last dance. Like he
that's
said
true.
that.
Yeah,
He put the bull's eye and the magnifying glass on this Bulls team, at least from the core perspective. So I think that the Bulls got a lot of things that they got to figure out. We just don't know because we don't have much evidence to trust right now. I can't keep getting my hopes up and believing that these guys gonna do something. I gotta go off what you have shown me since you've been here.
yeah,
And it's been mediocrity. That's it. It's unfortunate.
yeah.
I'm still gonna ride with the squad. I'm still gonna ride with my squad. I just
Yeah.
get real disappointed sometimes.
And the thing is that Vooch has those like every 5 to 8 games. He has that game where you're just like, damn, Vooch was good today. And you keep
Right?
seeing that flash. And it's like Vooch has the capability of being a really good center in this league. And between circumstance, his own play, and just the roster construction on this team, it's forced him to kind of be different than what he would be naturally. But Vooch got to find like the thing that pisses me off so much about Vooch, you can't keep having 6'1" point guards on you and you pass out of it.
My God.
It makes
bro.
no sense, bro.
My goodness.
There be people
6'1".
meeting your height guarding
Bruh.
Vooch, and he passes the ball away. It don't make
I
any
be
sense.
like, bro, like you supposed to be feasting. You wasting height.
Yeah.
A guy that's vertically challenged, bro. It's like you wasting height. Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's bad, bro.
It is what it is, man, when it comes down to it. Unfortunately, with this team, bro, we lifelong fans. We never go. I'm never gonna leave this team, but God forbid they need to do something, bro. Like we got to do something, man. And I don't know if it happens at this trade deadline with the scenario and situations that are going on, but I tell you what, AK and Eversley got to get to work this offseason. Like you've tried it. You've tried adding role players. You've tried, keeping mainly this thing together. To me, the fact that we're still fighting for a 9th seed in our 3rd season of continuity tells you got to get on, man.
Yeah, it's just not good enough. And me, I think that the Bulls at least have a solid foundation that's not dry yet, but something that they can work with. You got me when I look at it, you got about 5 young players that you can push forward with. That's P. Will, Ayodo Sumu, Kobe White. You might see. I love how Julian Phillips look. It doesn't always appear in the stat sheet or on the box score, how people ever want to call it. But he's solid. I think he got a lot of promise. You know what I'm saying? And then Dalen Terry, he's calming down a little bit. He was a bit erratic of too much last season, but he's coming into his own. That's your 5 young players that you can push forward with if you decide to do that. You got options, but it's just about having the guts to pull the trigger and say, all right, enough is enough. Continuity is BS right now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see what this front office ends up doing. We'll see. Starters are out tonight. Kobe, Ayo, Caruso, DeMar, Nikola Vucevic. No surprise there at all.
Nope.
Reportedly, Torrey Craig's going to play. How do you feel about the return of Torrey Craig today, man?
I think it's good, man. We need bodies. People are dropping left and right. Why not? I say, hey, he should be able to come out there and provide some energy for the squad and some veteran leadership. I seen him on the sideline coaching up young guys like Julian Phillips and being on those guys. Now he can do it more in their face on the court. So let's rock.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to hold my expectations just because it's his first game back after being out so long. I'm glad that he's missed 22 games, so allow him some time to get in rhythm. The benefit about Torrey Craig is that he's a player that doesn't need shots, right? He doesn't necessarily need plays called for him either to be effective. He does rebound. He plays defense solidly. He knows when to pass the ball off. So I do think that it could be a bit of a quicker kind of get back in rhythm for Torrey Craig just because of the way that he plays. But he's been an important part of the Chicago Bulls, so it's good to see him get back out there on the court for sure.
Agree. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. Should be a good game. Hopefully the Bulls don't, oh my God, drive us too crazy today.
Hey, listen, they got to be prepared against Sacramento. They got to, bro. Like You cannot come in here against Sacramento and play that lackadaisical thing, because I tell you what, if this is one of those teams that if you allow them to get on a scoring run and you don't answer it, at
Oh
least
yeah,
I'm not
it's
saying you
over.
got to match them. It's over. It's going to be over with. That literally that one run could cause the separation in this game that you're just never going to be able to come back from.
Exactly. You got to be on your P's and Q's when you go against this team. And I think honestly, like I don't really. Obviously, I want the Bulls to win, but I just want to see how Kobe White. I'm always looking to see how Kobe White matches up against the opposing team's point guard, just to see if to get more evidence to say, hey, Kobe White is definitely in the realm of where he needs to be, and he could definitely move forward. So I can't wait to see how Kobe White matches up against De'Aaron Fox. That shit gonna be fun.
That should be, yeah. I mean, listen, this is one thing with Kobe, and I said this: if you truly wanted this thing to be looked at as a legitimate run to becoming a star, you gotta own your matchups. You gotta match wits with players, especially when they play at your position. The point guard situation is one you get marquee point guard matchups every single night in the NBA.
Fact.
You got to be able to do it.
So we'll see. We'll see. I can't wait. We got 19 minutes.
We got 19 minutes of the game. Let's hope that we can get it done, man. Let's hope we can get it done. Y'all doing live call tonight?
We are doing live call on Shy Bulls podcast. Tune in.
Y'all make sure y'all go over to Shy Bulls podcast with them Cognac boys. They the best live callers in the business. I mean, you can hop in there. I ain't got shit to do tonight, so
bet it up.
You may see me over there, but we're gonna go ahead and get ready to end the pregame show, y'all. I gotta go cook dinner for the kids. I love you guys, man. Y'all make sure y'all go support Bobby and C-Dub over at Shy Bulls podcast, also at Chicago Bears Central. But yeah, let's hope we can get this dub. I'll be back at halftime. Go Bulls, see red, y'all. Peace.